Hi, I'm Glenn Hughes.
And I'm Ed Muzio.
For 3 decades, I've been working inside a publicly traded company.
And for over a decade, I've been an entrepreneur supporting companies like Glenn's from the outside.
In this series, we look at the problems and challenges of the modern workplace
And provide our ideas and advice.
From the inside
and out.
In this series, we talk a lot about work and the tools that help us get our work done. But I've always believed that the best, most authentic tools that we can bring into the workplace are the same ones that work for us when we're not at work. And in fact, I share a lot of these with my wife and friends' children to get through the day. Ed, I know you do as well, so I'm just going to ask you, of the tools that we recommend to people, which ones do you think are the most useful as a human being?
As a human being? That's a really big question. But I think you're right. I mean, I want to just say first, I think you're actually right that we tend to sort of want to draw this wall between us at work and us not at work, but really the things that make interpersonal relationships work at work everywhere else.
Right.
So one of the big ones that I would say is, if I give the specific model, one example is the old DISC model, D-I-S-C, which is, generally speaking, there are these 4 different quadrants of behavior or personality or style, whatever people call it. The bigger message, though, I think of that model and others like it is other people are not a broken version of you, right? People are different, they communicate differently, they see the world differently. They have substantial differences now they perceive in what they think than you do. And trying to understand those differences as opposed to labeling them as bad is a huge skill in the workplace and a huge skill as a human being. I think that's my first one.
Yeah, I grew up as many people being told and taught for many years, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And what you learn when you learn DISC is that you'll be wrong 75% of the time if you use that approach. And instead of the golden rule, we want to use maybe the platinum rule of do unto others as they want to be done unto. And you'll be a lot more successful. I totally agree. And so do our participants at work, because the first thing they ask us as soon as they go through DISC and have an assessment is, can I have a copy for my spouse?
Right, that's right,
absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, so I agree. That's a great tool. Another one that works equally well inside or out of work is Mihai Csikszentmihalyi's flow model, right? Which has just been such a foundation stone of the positive psychology movement for the last 20 or 30 years. And Csikszentmihalyi's model really simply says that we have skill and we have challenge. And when skill is equal to challenge, it creates a flow channel, X equals Y for the engineers in the crowd, where we're optimizing our life experience.
And he got this by studying people who were getting lost in their work. They were enjoying their work or their activity, their hobbies so much, they got lost in it, and asked the question, when does that happen? And this was his answer, right? Is when those two things are in balance.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when skill is higher than challenge, you get bored. When challenge is higher than skill, you get frustrated. And the best exemplification of this is video games, Angry Birds and the like.
They've got to figure it out. They keep upping you just a little more every time.
Every time your skill grows, the challenge grows. Every time the challenge grows, you get an opportunity for your skill. But they never rush you too far, or you'd quit the game and not buy the next version, right? So this design for life, which is being done for profit in video games, is a design for life that in the workplace we should be doing for our employees and ourselves, and in life we should be doing every minute.
And I want to call out this point you're kind of saying, built into what you're saying, which is your level of skill grows, and we have to grow the challenge commensurately, right? So it's not just getting the point right today, it's mapping the point so that you stay in balance as you grow.
Absolutely. What's another one that you like?
I think if there's one more that I think goes for humanity, it's the drama triangle. And this is Cartman's work, which is you can get caught into a triangle between 3 roles. The roles are the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. So you can either play the part of someone who needs to be saved, that's the victim. You can play the part of someone who's abusing somebody else, that's the persecutor. Or you can play the part of the one doing the saving, that's the rescuer. And what Cartman said is, we all have our favorite roles to play, and so it's easy if I either figure out your favorite role or accidentally present it to you, you'll jump in and play it, whether it's rescuer, victim, or persecutor. But the problem is, once we're in those roles, we're in a transactional relationship, and no information is getting exchanged. We're just playing out scripts that people could write for us. Worse, it's all over the place in media because that's the basis for many stories, right? So,
Right.
so it's the Little Red Riding Hood all the way up to the Terminator. Is there's a victim, a persecutor, and a rescuer. So recognizing that in ourselves and not using that in our relationship, stepping out of that drama triangle, I think is one of the most useful things humanity can do, honestly.
You've said it 100 times in sessions I've been in. What makes great drama doesn't make for great life experience.
That's right.
Necessarily, right? Getting stuff done and moving forward is often the opposite of drama, right? And jumping in those roles and feeding the drama spiral, knowing the model allows you to break free of that. So
yeah, when I'm in class, what I say is, it doesn't make good work, but the truth is, it doesn't make good, like you said, experience either. It's not pleasurable to be caught in these things. It just churns forever. So, and by the way, the rest of the story is the intensity increases as you switch roles. So as you stay in it, it just gets harder and harder to be in it and less productive. Yeah. How about you? Is one more model for you?
Yeah. One of the things that helps you get in a flow state, and I do want to make sure I say before I move on, and I'll look in the camera for this, if you're only going to read one psychology book in your life, buy the book Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi or Finding Flow by the same author. Fascinating, amazing books that may change your life. One of the things that helps you find flow, one of the things that helps you stay out of the drama triangle is knowing what your life's mission is. We talk a lot about the mission statement of a company or the mission statement of an organization, and the reason we're both so passionate about missions is because they keep you focused, right? If
Sure.
my mission is X, I'm going to know that doing Y or Z is noise. Doesn't mean I might be able to not do them. I might have to, but I'm not going to spend the main amount of my time, or I might outsource them.
Covey calls it the bigger yes, right? It's sort of like, it's easier to say no if I have the bigger yes. The mission is the bigger yes, right?
Absolutely, and so I was challenged by a mentor by the name of Dre Zagarmi 10 years ago. He looked at me and said, Glenn, you're really skilled at what you do. I'm curious, what's your life mission? And I said, have fun. And he gave me a very angry look and said, that's not effing good enough. And I said, what do you mean? That is my, and he said, look, Glenn, you're unique, everyone's unique, everyone has something they're bringing to earth or not. And the only way you can know what you're bringing to life or not is to set your mission. Otherwise, your energy's just scattered.
Be yourself, everybody else is taken.
That's right. And I spent a good 6 months in emails back and forth with him and discussions with colleagues and all, trying to figure out what was, back to some other things we've referred to in videos, my unique value, the thing I enjoyed doing that I could do that maybe no one else could do, and that was a lost opportunity if I didn't do it. And once I came up with that one sentence mission value prop, it's basically driven my whole life since and allowed me to very easily make decisions about where to focus and where not to focus, both professionally and, more important, personally.
That's the same is true for me, and I think that's right. I think I can play the sentence or two in my head, and it's an evaluation for whatever I'm doing. Do I get it wrong? Yes. Do I go off the rails sometimes? Yes. But it can bring me back, and also it helps me make the hard decisions, because one of the things I've learned from senior leaders in companies like yours is success looks like saying no to good alternatives, right? When you're successful, you're saying no to things that you'd like to do, whether it's personal or professional, and I think the mission is the key to that, to knowing not only how to say no and what to say no to, but also feeling good about the no, because it's hard to say no to an opportunity.
Learning to have and maintain and communicate boundaries might be the single best skill any person could ever learn.
So there you have it. Integrity with your boundaries and your mission, staying out of drama.
Having the flow state, finding and maintaining the flow state.
And making sure you stay aware of the fact that other people are not a broken version of you. 4 big things for humans.
For humans. What other work tools or processes do you find help and enable you as a human being?